Hey guys, Nicolai here. Rage quitting. This is the act of angrily abandoning an activity that has become frustrating. This most frequently happens in video games, and odds are you watching this right now have rage quitted once or twice in your life. However, I'm confident that you haven't rage quit while competing for thousands to millions of dollars. But the people featured in this video definitely have. This is 5 times pro players gave up. Beginning with number 5, we start with one of the only rage quits in professional League of Legends. On May 9th, 2013, 2 teams were competing for a spot in the EU LCS. Everything was business as usual, until Against All Authority found themselves on the losing side. 19 minutes into the game, with a score of 3 kills and 14 deaths, the team's ADC named Nono decides to quit the game.
That was so one-sided. I mean, that's... Well, actually, we have a disconnect out of Nono. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, or if that was like a bug, but...
Nono has left the game, and there's no pause, which tells me he's not had a disconnect. He's left the game.
I'm hearing from analysis that he actually said GG and quit the game.
Wow.
And then reconnected.
To really put this situation into perspective, this game is literally the most important game of these guys' careers. If they win this match, they will be promoted, start earning big time salaries, and be competing at the highest level. Meanwhile, this dude is raging like he's in a regular game at home. Because not only does he type GG and leaves the game, he actually ends up coming back. But instead of playing with his team, he's still trolling. He was taking his jungler's camps and overall just wasn't cooperating. Only a couple minutes after do they actually agree to surrender.
They need to just take a second and, talk it over and kind of work it out. Like, they cannot let games like this go. I mean, that wasn't even close. That was just so one-sided.
But here's the best part. Like I told you, this is a very important match for these players. However, this is a best out of 5 match. There is absolutely no reason to be behaving this way in game 1. I honestly don't know if the players forgot this fact, as they literally continued arguing after the first game was over. And of course, that attitude crippled the team's confidence, and they ended up losing every game of the match. Now moving forward into number 4, we take a look at a very unique rage quit which happened within the NASCAR community. As you may be aware, earlier in 2020, all spectator events were cancelled due to a certain pandemic. As a result, a lot of competitive tournaments had to get creative. This is where NASCAR comes in. As their drivers would be unable to compete on the tracks, they instead had them participate in tournaments that would be entirely online. But alright. Here's the situation. On April 5th, 2020, 32 drivers participated in an online 150 lap race. And some of these drivers were proper stars from the racing world, like Bubba Wallace, who had his car bumped into in the 11th lap and he decided he wasn't having it.
Come on, Clint! Oh. God!
He's still down there. Still there. Yep, he just came up and wrecked the hell out of you again on purpose.
Y'all have it going. That's it. That's why I don't take this shit serious.
Sorry, Tyler. Just trying to talk to you there.
Peace out!
He followed this event by later tweeting, "I'm dying at my mentions right now. I ruined so many people's day by quitting a video game. Damn. Quarantine life is hard." But although Bubba took his leave from the game without a care in the world, it actually brought some real-life repercussions. One of Bubba's real-life sponsors ended up dropping him due to his behavior. They even replied to his tweet by saying, "Good to know where you stand. Bye-bye, Bubba. We're interested in drivers, not quitters." Now, believe it or not, this wasn't even the worst thing to happen in the virtual NASCAR matches. At one point, a driver was suspended because he randomly shouted the N-word during a match while thinking he was muted.
You can't hear me? Hey.
Kyle, you're talking to everyone, but...
Yeah, we heard that.
Oh, damn. You did not listen to that.
Yikes.
Now continuing with number 3, this one is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll give you some context to the competition. These two players are competing in a qualifier for the FIFA 18 eWorld Cup, a tournament where the champion would take home $250,000. Essentially what's going on here is this guy is currently losing and needs to make a couple goals fast. He's getting progressively more and more frustrated as things continue to not go his way. And you know things are going bad when you do the Tyler 1 special. But then, with 8 minutes remaining in the game, he rage quits on stage.
Or you could say good tactics from Mitkin, poor tactics from the Doctor in terms of this matchup. As we see, looks like a rage quit there.
So, yeah, the game is over. Congratulations to Metkin.
Also, by the way, virtual sports esports seem to have more drama than regular esports. While FIFA players are rage quitting on stage, NBA 2K players are trying to start real-life fights with each other. Now, number 2 is a quickie before we get to number 1. It's not the most entertaining situation as we don't have the players' cameras, but it's a pretty significant rage quit. This takes place in a qualifier match for the Dota 2 International, a tournament where the winning team takes home $15 million. And that's just the winner. The other placements get some pretty good money as well. But anyway, 32 minutes into a still very winnable game, a player from Gambit gets caught out and dies. Then, on a live stream with thousands of viewers watching, he types GG in the chat and he leaves the game.
KB, I suppose, and got punished for it.
Yep.
Has disconnected. GG.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's not good, guys.
Oh, man, that's some rage. Dude, that's some serious rage.
The game is not over.
And personally, this is especially messed up because Dota is a team game. So similar to our first story, this team ended up losing all cause one of their players wanted to be a rage-quitting baby. So now you know. Sometimes even pro players have toxic teammates. Finally, number 1 is a strange one, but I think it still counts. This takes place in a Grandmaster's Hearthstone tournament. This player is about to get roasted by the commentators for unintentionally giving up. I'll let you watch the moment first, and then I'll give you some context.
Whoa, wait, what? The Shirvala's just vulnerable.
Did he not banker? He didn't banker it. What?
No, that is
sorry. My brain
that is not okay.
My brain just refused to accept the idea that he didn't banker the Shivala there for a second.
That's just game.
Yeah.
Boston wins the game.
Yes. Yes, he does.
You kill Shirvala, the game ends.
Correct. And he's just realized it. That's not good enough. I'm sorry.
That play is unbelievable.
Psycho,
I have never seen a play quite like that.
Free advice for you, my friend. Pay attention to the goddamn game you're playing when there are hundreds and thousands of other professional players that would love to be in your position right now. How about that? Yeah, you can go ahead and concede now.
Okay, I know that sounded like a bunch of card game nerd talk, but essentially he had a clear play in his hand that he was supposed to use. Not using it is basically trolling in this situation. But there's a reason for him making such a costly mistake. He was actually participating in a auto chess tournament at the same time. So as he is competing in Hearthstone, he was also at the same time playing auto chess on his phone. Which is why you can see him looking down most of the time. He followed up his mistake by tweeting, "I'm crying. It wasn't the best idea to play the chess qualifier this weekend, but I practiced too much for this already. Hope I can come back from this horrible start once everything is over." Well, he didn't come back. In that season, he actually ended up placing 14th, and it's actually one of his worst professional performances ever. But with that being said, we come to the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again next week. Maybe, you know how it goes.